Alright guys, welcome to today's video. If you are new here to the channel, consider subscribing to keep up to date with the latest gaming industry news, rumours and leaks, with a heavy focus on PlayStation, and occasionally we will take a look at Xbox, Nintendo and PC stuff too. So as always, the timestamps are available in the description. So a little while ago I made a video about the losses at Square Enix, and if I remember correctly it was something along the lines of $140 million. As a result, Square Enix was thinking about cancelling multiple projects in the works due to their losses, and were thinking about how they would move forward without spreading themselves so thin from a development perspective. Well, news coming out today about Square Enix confirms that their strategy has completely changed. Square Enix has announced that it has cancelled development of a number of unannounced projects that do not fit in with the company's newly revealed strategy, which is a bit of a concern, I suppose, if you're used to having Square Enix games only on the PlayStation platform. But back in March, the company revealed that it was planning on cancelling or rescoping various titles, but at the time they didn't really go into much more detail. However, speaking in its latest financial report, the Final Fantasy creator has revealed that it has scrapped some titles and explains why they've come to that decision. The Japanese publisher revealed that profits were down nearly 70% from the previous year due to the 141 million losses. Those losses were based on the termination of development efforts for some key pieces of content in the digital entertainment segment. The unannounced titles were scrapped due to them not fitting in with the company's business strategy. The new business strategy, which focuses on multi-platform development of AAA games to ensure that more players are able to experience those games. In essence, what Square Enix is saying is that it will be focusing on multi-platform games for its AAA releases going forward, which forms part of a new medium-term business strategy. This involves a 3-year strategy that Square Enix hopes will result in long-term growth. As a result, Square Enix will aggressively pursue a multi-platform strategy that includes Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox and PC. This allows the company to build an environment where more customers can enjoy their titles in regards to major franchises and AAA games, including old catalogue titles. How do you feel about this? I've got to be honest and say that it doesn't really matter to me that much that Square Enix are going multi-plat. Doesn't really bother me. After all, most of their games are multiplayer anyway, right? I mean, it's just the Final Fantasy games that seem to be exclusive to PlayStation. But going forward, going multi-plat for Square Enix might be a better fit for them. It may work for them financially to go to as many platforms as possible, just like it does with Microsoft Gaming, to release their games onto as many platforms as possible. I think the main thing from a studio management perspective for them would be to focus on not spreading themselves too thin and not to be working on too many projects simultaneously, and to stick with quality rather than quantity. The minute they start to focus on quantity, that quality goes out the door. They will lose their fan base or certainly take a lot of stick. So it's always about the quality for me. So their decision to focus on quality and not quantity hopefully bears fruit, as this will ensure they can deliver good games with tight storytelling, no fillers, good gameplay with excellent character development. Okay, let's move on. It was recently reported that Sony has established a new studio with a number of former Deviation Games employees, and that Sony PlayStation's new unnamed and officially unannounced studio is hard at work, secretly working on a brand new IP. Michael Anthony, who previously worked at Deviation Games, revealed this on his LinkedIn profile. He's heard that a number of former employees at the studio have now established a new studio at Sony. He goes on to say, "I hear that a lot of previous Deviation Games employees have set up their own studio at Sony, working on an undisclosed new IP. All the people I see working there that have signed up are top class developers, and I hope that you can create a top class new IP with your studio that hopefully gives you all the time you need to create a quality product and not to have to deal with red tape from previous projects." Deviation Games was founded in 2021 by Dave Anthony and Jason Blundell, but sadly it closed its doors earlier this year without having shipped a single game. And according to previous reports, prior to the studio's closure, its debut PS5 title had a budget of around $50 million, and many of the developers that worked at Deviation Games came from the likes of Call of Duty, Battlefield and other FPS and action game genres across the industry. So it's no wonder that many of us were really excited to see what they could do and what all this talent. So it's no wonder that many of us were excited to see what all this talent could get up to once it was together, and what could they produce for us? What kind of game could they put together for us? However, now that we know these developers are actually tucked away, hiding somewhere within the PlayStation Studios teams, secretly creating their new IP, I wonder if we're going to get a reveal of the studio name and what they're working on, and if they are picking up from what Deviation Games was working on. If they've had around 3 years of development time on it, then it may be a long way off in terms of completion, but maybe we can get some kind of small clip or a trailer or even a CGI reveal actually at the rumored PlayStation event happening this month. One can only hope, I guess. Either way, exciting to know that this is going to be, I believe, a new FPS IP from PlayStation. If not a new FPS IP, then with all that talent, certainly a brand new reboot of a game like Resistance or Killzone or even SOCOM. Very excited to learn what they could be making, and very excited to be talking about what their next project could be and what they're cooking up. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section about the topics discussed today. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.